So, I know Splatoon 3 has soured the idea of returning subs and specials for specific weapons a bit. The so-called reference kit might have been overdone a little bit. However, I think referencing the right subs and specials that have been proven to work over time establishes a weapon with a pretty consistent identity. And as long as room is left for original kits, I don't see anything wrong with it. I just think Splatoon 3 did a little bit too much of it. But when we move into Splatoon 4, which options are really necessary to come back? Well, this is going to be my personal list, going through the weapons in order and talking about every single one that I think has a sub or special that should be re-referenced. Which means that if I skip over any weapons, it's because they don't have anything I think needs to come back. These are the reference kits I want for Splatoon 4. Subscribe if you enjoy. Starting off with the shooters. The Splattershot Jr. has pretty much always gone the Splat Bomb plus some kind of protection special, and I think it should get it again. This serves as a very nice base kit for people who are playing the game for the very first time, as Splat Bomb is the easiest sub to use when you're starting out, and a basic protection special can help you stay alive more easily as a beginning player. Junior's vanilla kit is basically designed around people who are literally level 1, and I don't see any reason why that should change. Splash is up next, and while this weapon has gotten Burst Bomb in several games, I think it really fell into its own with Burst Crab in Splatoon 3, and I think this exact kit is what I would want to see back. The pairing between the sub and special, as well as enabling a more aggressive style of main weapon play, was really unique for Splash and pairs with its more limited range compared to the other short range shooters a lot more nicely. Next up is Zap. This has also had a pretty stable identity for the last 7 years now, with a suction bomb and team chaining special, being a very supportive weapon, and I think it works quite well for that. Next up is Jet Sculpture with Burst Bomb plus some kind of close range aggressive special. Obviously we don't know what exactly is going to come back, and outside of the specials I really want, I'm not going to mention any directly here, so this could be anything that forces you to go up close with a focus on slaying. I think as long as it has a special like that to play aggressively, it deserves to get its Burst Bomb back, and that would be a much better playstyle than whatever this was in Splatoon 3 or 2. For L3, I honestly really miss its Splatoon 2 Burst Bomb Jetpack kit. If anything, it might be the kit I wish got ported the most. Something about the way this weapon plays was just really fun, in addition to being one of my favorite weapons to watch. I think the playstyle between going in more aggressively with your burst bombs and using jetpack for alternative angles really just made L3 feel quite unique, and it never really reached the same highs as this weapon kit. Onto the rollers are going to be two obvious ones out of the way. Carbon Roller with a burst bomb plus some kind of distance aggressive special. Don't think it has to be Zuka, I kinda hope they don't bring Zuka back, but really anything that can be used from a safe distance. I think this kit just has perfect synergy with Carbon, and with something like Burst Auto Launcher that I got in S2, it just didn't really hit the same. It felt too watered down. As for Roller, I can't really see it without its curling bomb either. It helps so much with the mobility. I think that specifically Bubble and Triple Splashdown both would work great for it. I don't really want Bubble back, but it would work better for it. Triple Splashdown might be a little bit more likely, and if it does happen, I think would have much better synergy with Roller than the Vanilla Splashdown in S2. Either way, both are pretty unlikely. I think the curling is the part that really needs to stay. Dynamo Roller, I'd want to see with its Sprinkler plus Team Chaining special back. I think Sprinkler's constant paint output helps with the downtime Dynamo can have, as well as being able to be used as a mobility tool for it. And the team-based special just really solidifies this as its support role, which I think is where Dynamo belongs. So maybe let it paint in the next game. Up next, honestly, I just really can't see the Big Swig Roller back without its line marker. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyway, next up is the Squiffer. So I think Squiffer with Zipcaster fills the role as the hype trickshot weapon. Like, it's just way too much fun. I don't even care if it's good or not. It's fun. However, since they gave Reflux the same midair charge speed, it might actually work on that weapon better, and due to the multiple shots, might have an easier time comboing with the specials damage and being a little bit more lenient, whereas Squiffer is either you hit it or you miss it. If Zipcaster gets on Reflux in the next game, then this doesn't need to come back, but unless that very specific condition is met, put it back on Squiffer. For the normal charger, I think Wall and some kind of paint special just works too well. Between Firefin and Zekofin, it's become kind of a staple here, and I'd honestly like to see it back. Don't really care what the paint special is. It could be something new, or it could be something returning like Strike or Rain or whatever. As long as it just kind of puts out paint for the team, I think that's all it needs to maintain its identity. Okay, Up next, let's just get this out of the way. I think Leader should get its Burst Bomb back. Not only is Burst Bomb not the same as it was in Splatoon 1 at all, and there's no damage up in this game, but I think it's just, frankly, more fun. Leader would be playing a lot more aggressively with this sub and have a little bit more to do. Frankly, it's way more interesting and back and forth than bringing back something like Kraken to put on the weapon as an up-close option. I think that role fits much better with Burst, and that's just one of those combinations I think was missing from this game. If you're trying to bring back the best of Splatoon 1 kits, this was something that should have happened. So I know a lot of people are probably a little tired of Pencil, but I think Pencil with Sprinkler plus some kind of team chaining special should happen again. Yeah, even if it's the same kit as Dynamo. I don't think the problem lies with the kit. This seems to have perfect synergy with Pencil. I think the problem is really just that Pencil's a bit overtuned, and hopefully we fix that before Splatoon 4. I mean, we're gonna have like at least a few years, so I'd imagine that's possible. I think Machine should get Fizzy Booyah back. Really, this kit just has so much synergy. I think it's very fun. I don't even think it needs to be 220 in this game. I don't think it'd be a big deal if they brought it back. Last for the buckets is Blob. I think Blob should get its wall back. Blob in S3 just tends to be a little bit too spammy in my opinion, and I think wall really added to the amount of positions you could take with the weapon. So I think it should come back. Onto the Splatterlings. I think Mini should get some kind of team chaining special back. I guess this more closely references Splatoon 1 than Splatoon 3. I think Mini should be one of the staple supports of the series, and it kind of sucks that it isn't, and it was originally in Splatoon 1. Outside of that, I really just have Ballpoint with Beacon. I can't believe they not only didn't give it its Beacon back with how fun it was in Splatoon 2, but didn't give it to a single other Splatterling either. What a missed opportunity. I want Range Blaster to get some kind of close aggressive special. I don't think it has to be Splat Bomb, though I'd like some kind of aggressive bomb. Realistically, though, I think Range with some form of aggressive special is just more fun to me. I don't mind the passive kit, the Wavebreaker one's pretty fun, but this is an identity I think should stay. And knowing that it was a scrapped Splatoon 2 kit for Splat Bomb Baller just makes me think the devs realize how fun it is as well. For Rapid Blaster, I think it should get its Torp back and probably Inkjet. There could be a better option for the special, so I don't need the Jetpack back, but I think the odds of it getting something more fun than Jet is pretty low. Like with Range Blaster, I just like this as the more aggressive option for Rapid. I wanted to maintain that identity. Octobrush, I think, should get its Auto Bomb back from Splatoon 2, plus either Zipcaster or Inkjet. I lean to Zip, but I don't have much of a preference. I think Auto Bomb Scouting works really well for Octobrush, and either aggressive special works really well for giving it some new angles to take. I don't even know what to say for normal Dooley. This has the most amount of stuff you could ever want back. Curling, Suction, and Burst all work well in the past, and Crab and Jetpack both are good with it. You could really pick any combination of those and make something Dooley players would probably be happy with. No surprise here, but Gluga should probably get its wall back. I mean, the weapon's so dependent on staying in turret mode that something that lets it stay in turret mode is very necessary. Plus, how far Splash Wall travels when using it alongside a roll just feels like it was made for this weapon. Yeah, Tetra should also totally get Zipcaster back. The synergy with a recall plus the amazing ways you can chase people down are just way too fun. Just please, don't give it a Sprinkler again. Among the myriad of other problems Sprinkler has, Tetra is made to go die. Please do not give it the only sub in the game that also dies with it. I'll say Dowser real quick. If Jet Squelcher doesn't get the Burst Bomb kit I talked about, then give Burst back to Dowser. Pretty self-explanatory, but I think one of them should get it, if not both. On to Brella. Autobomb's an obvious one for the ink consumption, synergizing very well with this, but for the special, if we bring back Inkstorm and don't utilize Brella with how well the shielding and rain healing mechanic can synergize with each other, I don't even know what to say. Otherwise, give it its Inkjet back. This has been the most fun kit to me. I think 10 should get Beacon back. The shield naturally gives 10 an easy way to get in that makes it less dependent on bombs than other short-range weapons, but I think Beacon also adds to the unique team support it has, which is really cool. I think Splatana Wiper should definitely get Torp back. Having a sub you have to shoot down with a weapon that tries to run behind you all the time is a bit of a distraction is just natural synergy at its finest. Stamper should get Burst Zip back. Not just in S4, in like every game. I think Stamper Burst Zip should just be immortal and live forever. This is one of the most high skill ceiling and unique playstyles I have ever seen in this series, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't come back in every single game. I genuinely mean that. Finally, Wellstring's Point Sensor. pretty small one, but I think that the natural location of Point Sensor paired with the ink efficiency of Wellstring makes this an easy synergy combo. So those are all the combinations I personally really want to come back to Splatoon 4. The list could have been longer, but I think I got all my necessary ones out of the way. Let me know what you think and what you need to see back in the next game, and I'll see you all next time.